Hi, welcome back. As promised previously, today I will share a lot more about the comparison between River Modern as well as its surrounding new launches, namely River Green, which I have touched briefly in my previous video, Zion Grand, as well as Promenade Peak. The intention of this video is so that you are aware of the market pricing, what are the differences in terms of layout as well as the build up, so that you can make a more informed decision when picking the new launch that you would like to buy. Of course, if you are still not sure, I'm always available for a one-on-one. In this one-on-one, of course, I'll be able to share a lot more solutions as well as information that are probably more tailor-made to your situation as compared to a YouTube video, which is intended to be a lot more generalized. So if you need my help, do get in touch with me via my contact 91005853. You can also drop me a WhatsApp message if, let's say, that is something that you prefer. Okay, so let's dive straight into the comparison between the four developments that we are interested in now. Let us begin by talking about River Green again as a continuation from where I left off. So River Green is developed by Wing Tai. It sits on a land of about 100,000 square feet in size. There's one block on the plot itself. Hence, there are actually quite ample space that are allocated for the facilities. Hence, River Green is also a full facility development similar to what River Modern has. But of course, the main difference is it being a singular block with all the stacks within that block itself. River Green is also, like I mentioned earlier, positioned as a compact development because in District 9, in this particular area, the developer do not need to fulfill the requirement of a minimum average size of 85 square meters per unit. Hence, you can see the units that are being built here are a lot more compact and efficient as compared to elsewhere. So their 1 and 1 plus study units are actually 400 odd square feet in size, literally no wasted space. And I would say in terms of the layout itself, features that we like at the kitchen, they are being built over here. So you have a tuck at a corner kitchen or what we call usually a semi-enclosed kitchen, or if it is an open kitchen, it is actually an L shape. So this is actually the features that a lot of the consumers out there like to see. Then when we come to the two bedroom units, this is the 2 bed 1 bath, 2 bed 2 bath, and the 2 plus study. So 2 bed 1 bath is actually 527 square feet. 2 bed 2 bath is 603, 2 plus study is 657, and they are all dumbbell layouts. And as you can see, all their units do not have wasted space in the form of a long corridor, and yet they are still able to provide consumers 9 square meters common room as well as a master room that is able to fit a king size bed. Okay, then comes to the 3 bedroom. So all the 3 bedrooms in River Green, they are the 3 bed compact nature. So 3 bed 2 bath. But one of the differentiating factor here as compared to 3 bed 2 bath elsewhere is they do have a bomb shelter included as a form of storage for the residents. And of course, if you were to ask me where the sizes are being minimized in this 3 bedroom in River Green, is basically your living room. So living room width here is typically 2.8 meters wide as compared to a general 3 bedroom which is 3 meters wide elsewhere. And also some of the rooms they are smaller, so in the form of 8 and 7 square meters, but nonetheless you still are able to get a functional 3 bedroom configuration. And a bit of bonus here is the walls, they are hackable, so if you want to, you can actually reconfigure the unit according to your needs. Okay, next come the 4 bedroom. So again, the 4 bedroom here is the 4 bedroom compact format, 4 rooms, no frills, just a portrait layout living dining, and again the width here is 2.9 meters. So this is where the space savings come. Kitchen, I would say, is relatively compact, but nonetheless there are 4 bedrooms and there are 2 toilets for the owner to use. Because of this space saving, generally the price quantum at River Green is very, very affordable. And it can be up to like $1 million lower than what the surrounding resale is doing. So that's the main advantage of River Green. With the smaller units, prices are kept very, very affordable for a CCR development. Next, let's look at what the prices have been achieved in River Green. So as you can see, I have arranged it in such a way that the 2, 3, and 4 with an average 2 bedrooms. Why I'm only comparing the 2 bedrooms is because River Modern we only have 2, 3, and 4 bedrooms. We don't have 1 bedroom and we don't have a 5 bedroom. All right. So River Green average 1.8 million for the 2 bedroom. 3 bedroom is about 2.65 million. Typically in River Valley area, a 3 bedroom easily crosses the $3 million mark, whereby the 4 bedroom usually, if you look at the bigger resale units, it easily crosses the $4.5 million mark. So that is where the strongest advantage lies with River Green. Alright, so this is the pricing at River Green. Next, let's check out Promenade Peak. And if you are not aware, Promenade Peak is a 63-story development. It will be the tallest development in River Valley. And because it is so tall, the developer, which is All Green, has divided Promenade Peak into two zones. So you have the Promenade Collection and the Peak Collection. Alright, so Promenade Collection actually refers to the lower floors all the way up to level 43. Alright, the upper floors will be level 45 onwards. So the lower floor units are where your 1 plus study bedroom all the way to 3 bedroom units are located, the normal 3 bedroom. Whereas the Peak Collection, whereby it is the level 45 onwards, you have 3 bedroom premium with private lift. So all the units on the upper floors comes with private lifts. And if you're looking at 4 or 5 bedroom units, they are only available on the super high floor units. So there are no low floor 4 bedroom and 5 bedroom in Promenade Peak itself. But generally the site area is about 100,000 square feet as well. So in terms of site size, it's actually very similar to River Green. It's just that this is I would say wider and shorter as compared to River Green's long and narrow kind of a site orientation or site shape. These are some of the layouts. There are actually quite a fair bit of layouts which I cannot fit everything into one page, but this is generally how Promenade Peak's unit are like. So generally this is your 1 bed plus study. So 1 bed plus study over here, unlike what you saw in River Green, this is 500 plus square feet. I think the main key difference here is that the 1 plus study over here has a bit of a corridor space lah. Okay, and then for the 2 bed as well as the 2 plus study, Promenade Peak don't have 2 bed 1 bath. The smallest 2 bedrooms is a 2 bed 2 bath. And generally they are what we call a regular shape or an L shape. So you can see it from an example over here and here. And if you notice, units at Promenade Peak are generally bigger. So like for example, a 2 plus study at 500 plus square feet, sorry, my apologies, 1 plus study at 500 plus square feet, the 2 bed 2 bath smallest unit is 600 plus square feet, your 2 plus study is 764 all the way to 797 square feet. The smallest 3 bedrooms here are above 1,000 square feet. And of course, for the bigger 3 bedroom premium as illustrated here, the higher floor units with private lift, these are above 1,001 square feet in size. Whereas of course the 4 and the 5 bedrooms, they are a lot bigger lah. So 4 bedrooms is 1,004 plus square feet and 5 bedroom is bigger than that. So because of this phenomenon whereby the units in Promenade Peak is bigger due to the fact that in this part of River Valley, so effectively River Green and River Modern is situated in District 9 where the minimum average of 85 square meters do not apply. But in Promenade Peak, it is actually situated on District 3 where the 85 square meters average applies. Hence, the units here tends to be bigger to be able to fulfill that requirement. The same requirement also applies to Zion Grand, which is the neighbor for Promenade Peak. Alright, so later I'll touch a lot more about Zion, but let's focus back on Promenade Peak. So Promenade Peak, because of the bigger unit sizes, generally if you look at their price quantum, they are higher as compared to River Green. However, if you take note, their PSF is actually slightly lower. Okay, so ultimately it is able to cater to a different group of buyers, whereby those that are hoping to get something bigger, more livable for their family, as compared to probably a smaller family or more budget conscious family that wants or aspire to upgrade into this prime location but lacks the funds to do so. So their targeting again is very different. The demographic of buyers are also very different. Next is Zion Grand, which is located beside Promenade Peak. The difference between Zion Grand and Promenade Peak is the fact that Promenade Peak is a pure residential development sitting on pure residential land. So if you look at the URA master plan, Promenade Peak's land is actually zoned as orange color, whereby Zion Grand is zoned as pink color. So Zion Grand is in fact a mixed development. You can even call it integrated development, because not only does it have condo, it also has a service apartment and retail component on the first floor, as well as it being directly linked to Havelock MRT station. Okay, so Zion Grand's land is a lot bigger than Promenade Peak and River Greens at 160,000 square feet. Hence, it is consisting of two blocks. So twin 62-story high building plus a service apartment here at about 30 plus stories high. And as you can see over here, because the units are split across two blocks, it is able to reduce the number of units per floor. And if you can see over here on block 5, this has 7 units per floor, whereby block 3 has 6 units per floor. Okay, so that reduces the density per floor overall. And yet Zion Grand is actually a full facility condo with very impressive landscaping done. If you haven't seen the show flat, I'm happy to show you around. Just get in touch with me and I'm happy to bring you to Zion Grand show flat and show you what I mean. Okay, so tennis court, multiple pools, 50-meter infinity pool, sky gardens and whatnot, they are all there. And FYI, the entrance to Havelock MRT station is actually somewhere here underneath the swimming pool area. And this entire area on level 1 will be retail. So basically a neighborhood amenity whereby the residents here are able to get food and whatnot for immediate needs lah. Of course, for full shopping experience, you can always proceed over to Great World City in that direction. And take note, the pool is actually not on ground floor, it's actually on second floor. Alright, that's why I say it's beneath the pool. So this is generally how Zion Grand looks like. So similar to Promenade Peak, it is required to fulfill the minimum 85 square meters average unit size. Therefore, the unit sizes here again are bigger. So if I were to zoom in, you can see 1 plus study, there's no balcony, so at 474 square feet. The 2 bedrooms, there are 538, so this is for the 2 bed 1 bath. Again, there's no balcony over here. The 2 bed premium and the 2 plus study actually is about 600 odd and 700 square feet. We have a show flat for the 2 plus study, which is actually a dumbbell layout. So this is again a very efficient layout with very minimal wasted space. And take note, the study room here is actually relatively big. It's able to fit in a single bed if you need it to convert into a guest room. Okay, then of course we have the basic 3 bed 2 bath, and in my opinion, one of the best 3 bed premium layout in the market. So this is the 3 plus study. Why I say this is the best is because it has a landscape layout. All the windows have all the toilets and the kitchen have windows, and because it's a dumbbell layout, it reduces unnecessary walkway corridor space. All right, so this is 1,000 odd square feet in size. Then of course we have the 4 bedroom units at ranging from 1,004 to 1,006 square feet, and of course the giant 5 bedroom, which is 1,008 square feet in size. Okay, so overall I would say layout at Zion Grand is pretty fantastic, efficient, and of course if there is a requirement or there's a need for smaller units in order to fulfill certain budget criteria, there are also smaller units available here. This is generally the price that was done for the 2, 3 and 4 bedder units. So as you can see, averaging for a 2 bedroom is at slightly below $2 million, simply because the fact this is I would say the 2 bedrooms here are smaller than Promenade Peak, hence even the PSF is slightly higher. They are able to achieve a overall lower price quantum. Similarly, for the 3 bedrooms, below $3 million, and of course the 4 bedroom, because there's a huge jump in size, then of course the price difference is significant. But if you look at the PSF, they are generally more or less the same. Okay, next of course I will directly compare between the three developments how the prices are done. So for 2 bedrooms across the three new launch projects, you can see with a quantum of between 1.8 to about $2 million, generally the public is able to accept this kind of pricing in the River Valley area. So in other words, if River Modern 2 bedroom units, eventually the average pricing is able to hit somewhere around this point, I would say River Modern will also be highly sold as well. Okay, of course on the higher end, the top floor, the best view units, then you will hit 2.3 or even 2.4 plus million. So that would be the upper range of the 2 bedroom pricing. Okay, but the magical number to look for is actually on average at around 2 million to I would say max 2.1 million. That's my personal opinion. Okay, my wishful thinking is not from the developer. Okay, for the 3 bedroom, as you can see, River Green is significantly cheaper because of the unit sizes of around 800 square feet for 3 bedroom, whereas Promenade Peak and Zion Grand, they have both smaller and bigger units. Hence you can see the overall price quantum to be higher than River Green. But however, if you can look at it, let me erase it. If you can look at the PSF, they are relatively similar. I do expect River Modern being located in the same locality as River Green, the PSF should hit around this range. Even if it is higher due to the land cost, it shouldn't exceed more than 100 or 150 PSF more. Okay, but do expect the overall price quantum to be slightly higher than what River Green has achieved, because River Green units are all compact, whereas River Modern, they have a mixture of compact as well as bigger premium 3 bedroom units. So I would expect River Modern's prices to closely resemble what Promenade or Zion Grand has done. Okay, next up, 4 bedroom. So this is where you see the most significant difference, due to the fact that River Green's 4 bedroom is 980 square feet. Promenade Peak is 1,400 square feet. Similarly, Zion Grand is also 1,400 plus square feet in size. Therefore, I would say for River Modern, their 4 bedroom units would be closely resembling these prices instead. Or rather, I would skew it more towards Zion Grand's pricing. Why? Because Promenade Peak, like I mentioned earlier, the 4 bedroom starts from level 45, whereby at River Modern and Zion Grand, we will have 4 bedrooms from the lower floor. So I do expect River Modern's 4 bedroom prices to be closely resembling what Zion Grand has done. Of course, due to the difference of District 9 and District 3, I won't be surprised if River Modern's overall PSF is about 100 to 150 higher than what Zion Grand has done. Okay, so this is the magic number that we should be looking at for River Modern. If River Modern is able to hit somewhere in this range, I would expect it to be 80% sold or higher during launch later on. Okay, so as an overall summary, of course for River Modern as of now we have no clue lah of what is the average. Overall on a PSF basis, Promenade's overall PSF is around 297. Zion Grand is about 3000 PSF, whereby River Green is about 31 plus PSF. Directly comparing River Green and River Modern, if we were to assume construction costs, labor costs, financing costs, everything to be the same, the only difference being the land cost. So River Green's land cost is 1325 PSF. River Modern's land price is 1420 PSF. We can expect River Modern to launch around 100 PSF higher than River Green, considering every other factor remains the same. Okay, so with that, that comes to the end of my comparison between River Modern and its surrounding siblings in the River Valley area. If you require more in-depth consultation, do feel free to get in touch with me, 91005853, and I will be able to tailor-make a more bespoke solution for you. Till the next video, bye bye for now.